Yo guys, what is up? I'm Kodat and back at it with another video. And today's video, I'll be teaching you all about loops in Unity. So let's get straight into this. Alright guys, so we're on our script. And the first thing I want to go over is what actually are loops. Well, it's self-explanatory really, but it's just a piece of code that will make something do it over and over. So I could print hello world 100 times or something. You can really do whatever you want, but it'll just loop something and keep doing it until you want it to stop. And so there are many different kinds of loops, but the first one I want to go over is a while loop. So what is a while loop? Well, let me just show you really quick. Alright, so you write while open parentheses, and in this you're gonna write your condition. Alright, and then after this you're gonna hit enter and do these open and close curly braces. This is your while loop, and what you write in here in these parentheses is your condition. So it'll keep doing what's inside these curly braces. So if I say debug.log hello, it'll keep printing hello over and over again until this statement is false that's in these curly braces. So we'll give a variable int number equals 1. Alright, and we're going to say while number is less than 10, we're going to keep printing hello, right? If we were to just say this and run it right now, it would cause Unity to crash because this loop would never stop. So it'll just keep doing the loop over and over and over again as fast as the computer can execute it until it crashes, because it'll never stop. So you need to somehow make this statement false. So we're just gonna add a 1 to number. So number equals itself plus 1. Alright? So number will equal itself plus 1. So every time this loop, goes, right? So first it'll print hello, and then it'll add 1 to number. So number will equal 2, and then it'll check is number less than 10. So essentially it starts off by checking the statement. Alright, is number less than 10? It is, because it's 1. Then it'll print hello. It'll add 1 to number, so number is now 2, and it'll do the cycle again. Is number less than 10? 2 is less than 10, so it'll move on to printing hello and adding 1 to number. Number is less than 10 because it's 3, so 3 is less than 10. And I'll keep doing this until number is 10. Now, 10 is not less than 10. 10 is equal to 10. So it'll automatically call this false, and so it won't print hello, but rather it'll go to the next part of our code, whatever's beneath the while loop. So to actually show you this a little better, I'm gonna, instead of printing hello, I'm gonna print number. So we'll see that number reaches 9, it'll print 9, but then it'll make it 10 and it'll return false. So it'll never actually print 10. So it should print the numbers 1 through 9. So let's head over here, let it compile its scripts. Make sure our script is attached to the player. It is. We play it, and you guys can see it printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so that's essentially what a while loop is. Really simple and easy. Alright guys, so before we move on to the next type of loop, I just want to quickly show up on screen the different types of checks that you can do inside a loop. So if we type while loop, if we create a while loop, right in these parentheses, you can write while number is less than whatever number, it's greater, less than equal to, greater than equal to. So I'll just have a list of those on the screen right now. Alright guys, so moving on, the next type of loop is actually very simple to the while loop. It's a do while loop. I want to go over this briefly because it's very similar to the while loop, right? So to type it, you want to write do open curly braces, enter, right? So we have these curly braces. Whatever you want to do in the loop, you type here. So we can say debug.log hello while this condition is happening, which is number is less than 1 or something, right? You have to add a semicolon at the end of here, at the end of the while statement. And so essentially what this does is, the only difference is that it will do it at least once. Alright? It will do this loop at least once, no matter what. So even if, so I'm saying while number is less than 1, alright? So if the number is 5, 6 is not less than 1, right? It'll still do the loop, and then it'll check it. Alright, so it'll do the loop at least once, and then it'll move on. That's the only difference, and this is just the syntax for how to do it. So guys, now for the last type of loop I want to go over, it's the for loop. This loop isn't as simple as the other loops, but it's still somewhat simple. So let's go over it really quick. So for the syntax, you're going to want to type for, open parentheses, and then you're going to write curly braces. So it's kind of like the while loop, but inside these parentheses, you're going to actually type a lot more. So we're going to have 3 different pieces of information. The starting value, which is, we'll say int I equals 1. The condition, which for us will be I is less than 10. And what you're going to change. So we're going to do I++. We're just going to do whatever is in here. So this might look a little confusing. Let me just go over each part really quick individually. I'll just debug.log I. So we're creating this variable called I, and we're setting its value to 1. All right. So that's the first part. The second part is when we're going to stop this loop. So we're going to keep doing whatever in these curly braces. We're going to keep printing the value of I, keep printing it while I is less than 10. So the moment I equals 10, it won't do it anymore, right? But while I is still less than 10, it'll keep doing this, right? And then here's how we're going to change I, in which we're just going to do I++. So yeah, that's essentially all there is for a for loop. So now we can just test this out really quick. So we can do for int I equals 1, I is less than 10, I++. Leave your guesses below what you think is going to print. Let's just check it out really quick. So we click play, and it prints out from 1 to 9. Because I would be 1, it would print 1, I would be 2, 3, 4, and go until I equals 9. And then once I equals 10, the statement's false, and so it quits out of this loop. That's essentially all there is for loops: the while loop, do while loop, and the for loop. Alright, so now guys, what I want you to try out is a little bit of a challenge where you create your own code, pause the video, and do it. But essentially the challenge is where I want you to create a loop, whether it be a while loop, do while loop, for loop, whatever you think is best. And you create it so that it prints out every number from 1 to 100 in increments of 2. Alright, so you're starting at 1, it would print 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, then 11. Do that, try that, and once you're ready, play the video. Here's how I would do it. So you're gonna create your for loop, alright, and we say int I equals 1, I is less than 100, I is less than or equal to 100 because we want to include 100. But finally, what you write here is different. Instead of doing I++, where plus means I will add 1, you're doing I equals I plus 2. Alright, now really quick, I want to show you something. Instead of having to write I equals I plus 2, there's something you can do that's a lot faster, which is essentially right here, I plus equals 2. This is the exact same thing as writing I equals I plus 2. So it's essentially adding 2 to I and setting I to that. These are the exact same thing. This is just a little faster and quicker. So if you're gonna write something, if you have a variable called blah blah equals blah blah plus 5, that's kind of long. When you can just do blah blah plus equals 5. So you're cutting off all these characters, which makes your code a lot more concise and easier to read. So we're gonna do the same thing here. I plus equals 2. So now we just debug the log I. We save this and we go over to our Unity project. And if we were to click play, you'll see how it prints 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, all the way to 99. Not including 100 because 100 wouldn't be one of the multiples. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss another upload of mine. And I'll see you all in the next one.